A above it.
A.
Where is negative 2/3 at, Grant?
Between 0 and -1.
Closer to,
Closer to -1.
right. 2/3 of the way from 0 to -1. Closer to -1. Okay. Caden, what's the opposite of 20? I'm doing the odds with you guys, if you can tell. What's the opposite of 23?
-23.
-23. Eli, what's -3 minus 2?
-5.
-5. Paxton, what's -20 times 4?
80. -80.
-80. On number 9, how do we divide fractions?
Like you flip the other one.
You flip, nope, that's adding and subtracting. You flip the second one and then turn it into multiply.
Do we just write the answer
Okay,
out?
and then what do we do at this point though?
We cancel.
Cross cancel. Okay, not cross multiply. When do we cross multiply?
Other stuff. I forgot what
Okay,
it's called.
when you have 2 equal fractions or 2 equal ratios. You guys see the difference between this and this? Okay, equals. This is time. This says times. This says equals. This is cross multiply. 15 times x equals 2 times 8. This is, you do top times top and bottom times bottom. But before you do top times top and bottom times bottom, you can reduce. 15 and 5 are both divisible by 5.
3 and 1.
2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. Top times top, bottom times bottom,
1 over 12.
112.
I got the same answer, but I accidentally
Guys,
multiplied it.
You kind of forgot, but way back when we did chapter 1, on the test, I made you not use a calculator on the first page. Okay, number 11. So, Forrest, what should we do first on 11?
Do the top and multiply the top.
No, don't multiply first.
Oh, cross cancel.
Cancel out the 9, so the answer would be
5/8.
5/8.
I haven't done this in a while.
Okay, 13. Alright,
2 times 3, which is 6, divided by 18, which is 3.
18 divided by 6 is 3. Okay, on 10, this fooled the other class. Should that come out positive or negative?
Negative. I mean positive.
Okay, should come out negative. Why does it come out negative?
Because the parentheses go around the 16.
Okay, because you're squaring 16, not negative 16. So, if you do this, it would come out positive. And by the way, your calculator would get it right, unless you have a really tiny calculator. This one might get it wrong.
Sorry, Forrest.
Actually, I'm not sure, but I think
Let's test it.
that one would be. No.
Bro, his calculator's small brain.
If your calculator is basic enough, it won't.
Oh, yeah.
Won't
Forrest
get it.
has a
If
bad-
anyone's calculator is stupid, it's that one.
Mr. Jordan, so for the part on the test, like for this, we won't be able to.
It should be this answer, not the what?
Mine did it right.
Well, will we be able to
So
use
not
our
I totally.
Calculator, yeah.
calculator? Wait, why is it negative?
LLB.
I thought a negative.
Because you're squaring the 16, not the negative. So it's like 16 times 16, and then you put the negative back on. So, another thing though, if I say x equals negative 16, what would x squared equal? Positive or negative?
It got it wrong.
Yeah. If I say x is negative 16, what would x squared equal? Would it be positive or negative? Should it be positive or negative? Okay, this should be positive. Because we're squaring all of x, so we're squaring all of negative 16. So it's more like this one.
Oh.
So that's another way we get these problems wrong. Okay, anyways. I think Anna, on 31, what do we do first?
Do the 8, the 3.
What's the little 3 called?
Cube.
Exponent. Or 8, yeah, 8 cubed. 3 is the exponent. If 3 is an exponent, 8 would be called its base. Anyway, 8 cubed, I believe, was 512. 512 divided by 2, 256 again, just like number 10.
I've not used my calculator in so long, it's starting to form dust.
Okay, let's see, 33, yeah,
It's been like since the start.
cross cancel. So, how would we do it on this one?
So for, 3 and 12, is it would be 1?
Divide those by 3, right? So it'd be 1 and then what about these two?
And then divide by 5,
Divide by 5,
which is 5, and 7. And then you
top times top,
have 20 over 7.
bottom times bottom. Do we change it to a mixed number?
Does it matter?
No. Okay, on 35, there is a quick trick. You don't need a calculator to do it.
Just 3.
Okay, what's 3 to the 15 divided by 3 to the 14?
3 to the 2nd.
3 to
I don't know, 3.
3 to the 1.
Oh, just,
Because when you subtract, or sorry, when you divide exponents, if you divide the bases, you can just subtract their exponents. What is 3 to the 1 equal to? 3. What's 3 times 3?
9.
9.
3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, something, something, something. Will be.
Alright.
So on 32, to be like
3
times
to
everything.
15 divided by 3 to 14 is 3 to the 1, which is just 3. Times 3 is 9. When you, this is 3 to 15, remember, means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, like 15 of those. Divided by 14 3's multiplied together. Basically what happens is a multiplied 3 and a divided 3, like, they'll cancel out. So you just subtract, that leaves 1 3 on top. So it just comes out as 3 to the 1, 3. And then there was another 3 at the end of that problem, so it's 3 times 3, which is 9. Yeah, you weren't here for that, so you might not have heard that before.
I have a question.
Okay, yep.
On number 32, would that be like you times everything inside the parentheses, or is it like the old-fashioned way where we don't do it?
Okay, you only have to use distributive property if there is a variable in the parentheses, but since there's not a variable, you can use distributive property. Since there is no variable in 32, you can just do 7 plus 2 first, that's fine.
Okay.
34 should come out positive no matter what, right?
Yeah.
36, make sure you do everything on top first, everything on bottom second, and then divide at the very end. So division bar is not the same as a division button. So if you just hit a division button, you're going to get it wrong on 36.
Do you have to divide it, or can you leave it like with the remaining numbers?
Well, if it's like 20 divided by 7, you leave it as 20 over 7. But it's probably going to be like 20 divided by 5, which is 4. Okay, 37. Macy, what would the order of operations be for 37? Negative 15 plus 7? Or both add? Add both of them. Okay. Yeah, it'd be a left to right. So adding and subtracting is tied, so you just go left to right. Same thing with multiplying and dividing. You guys remember PEMDAS?
Please excuse my dear aunt.
Sally.
Sister.
Parentheses,
I don't know.
exponent,
God.
like number 31 had an exponent.
Execute.
Multiply and divide though, they're actually tied, and add and subtract are also tied.
Please.
Please execute my dear aunt.
Wow, okay. What?
Please excuse my dear, so,
I don't know.
Please execute her at the stake.
Okay, on number 1 on the next page. I don't know, I didn't do it. It's just add and subtract.
With the gun down there.
Shannon, on number 1, what's the variables?
The variable is 8.
Number 1 on
Not 8, why is it?
What's the
I
gun
meant
name?
X.
X, yeah.
And then the constant is 19.
Constant 19. Yeah, variables are the letters because they change values. 19 and 2 are always worth 19 and 2, so those are constant. Number 3, Isa, what do they want us to do for that?
So like input the numbers and then find what it equals to.
Yeah, just plug all the stuff in. What's 3 times negative 3? Negative 9 plus 12? 3. So put 3, comma, and then what's 3 times 0 plus 12? 12, comma.
Why'd they have the
What's
abstraction?
3 times 2/3?
2.
2. 3 over 1 times 2 over 3, those 3's cancel out, right?
Yeah.
So it's just 2, or if you think about it, what's 2/3 of 3 cookies or whatever? It'd be 2 cookies. Anyway, 2 plus 12 is 14, comma. What's 3 times 4? Plus 12, 24. Uh-oh, oh no. What's 3 times 7.1? What's 3 times 7? What's 3 times 0.1?
27.
0.3. 0.3. So it's 21.3 plus 12. 21.3 plus 12 is 33.3.
Wow.
Notice how I line my decimal up. Okay, number 9 confused the heck out of us on the test we took.
Oh no.
I think that is number 9 that I put on the test way back on chapter 2.
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay,
I was about to say, when was this one?
what chapter 2 test? What does simplify mean, Grant?
Like, write how the problem's made, not like what the answer is.
Yeah, rewrite it in a simpler form. Do not solve
Yeah, I
it.
remember this one for the test.
Hold on, so simplify was not solved.
Simplify does
Wait, on
not
the
solve.
first section.
Evaluate basically means solve.
Which one on the front of the paper is well?
No, just number 9. It says simplify. A, simplify. B, evaluate. I can't remember what people did on A and B, but basically I feel like they just solved it twice, basically.
I knew.
Anyway, how can we simplify 4 plus parentheses 5 plus A? Anybody know?
9 plus 8.
9 plus A. Okay, because it's addition, order of addition doesn't matter, so the parentheses don't matter. So it's just 9 plus A. And also it's like adding like terms, that kind of thing. And then evaluate means actually figure out what it equals. So A is 8, so 9 plus 8 is 17. So B is 17. Alright, 17, this one gave the other class some trouble. We haven't done, I don't know, maybe we did this once or something, but we need some practice on it. Jimmy is fencing in a dog run for his new puppy. I don't know what a dog run is, but it's like an obstacle course maybe.
I thought it was like
Oh, that's kinda
cool.
cool.
Just line your dogs up and have them run to the other side.
Well, it says it's a rectangle though. He plans to make it rectangular and has 46 feet of fencing. He wants the length to be 7 feet longer than the width. What will the dimensions of the dog? What will be the dimensions of the dog? So it's a rectangle, and if it says it has 46 meters of or feet of fencing, what does that tell us?
The perimeter is 45.
The perimeter is 46. Yes, that means all these sides together should add up to 46. Now, how can I label these sides? The only thing he said about the sides was he wants the length to be 7 longer than the width. So how can I label these?
A plus 7.
If I call the width W, what could I call the length?
W2.
W
W plus 7. Why do we not just call it the length? Well, because if it's just one variable, we can solve it. Okay, what could I call this side? W plus 7, because it's a rectangle. And what can I call this side? Okay, all the fence together, all four of the sides, is supposed to make up 46. So it's W plus W plus W plus 7 plus W plus 7 equals 46. Caden, how do I simplify that?
You get rid of all the W's, and then, like, just make it W.
It's like 20.
W4 plus 7.
W, or like
W
4
two.
Is it 4W or W4? What does W to the fourth mean?
That's like a W times
W times W times W times W. So it's 4W. That means 4 times W.
plus 14.
Same as W plus W plus W plus 14. Now we've got something we're familiar with, right? How do we solve that for W?
Get rid of 14.
I used to be like
This used to be so hard.
So W is
8.
8. What does that mean?
It's
That's the
15 and 8.
The width of the rectangle or the run or whatever, it needs to be 8 feet. That's one of the dimensions. The other dimension is the length. How long is the length going to be?
8 plus
15.
7.
15.
Yes.
8 feet by 15 feet.
I like
Are you guys familiar with this notation?
What?
Yes.
Oh.
Minecraft.
This means 8 feet by 15 feet. That means the width and the length.
I remember this whenever my dad was like, building that weird shed inside our barn. And he started crying after our barn.
Is that where you shoot your dogs?
No.
While you're running them over, you know, every single day,
While you burn your papers?
and your dog eating your homework.
I feel like this is funny. At the same time.
I mean, it's really sad that this
Yeah.
happens, but at the
My
same
dog-
time, you're going through a dog like every day.
No, it used to be that way. Not
Used to, it should have never.
Man, we just got a new shipment of dogs. Look at Governor.
Hit the mini
You should have heard the chicken massacre you like. You weren't here for that.
First you're shooting the ducks, now it's chickens.
No, coyotes got into our pen and they started killing all the chickens, ripping their heads off.
That's lovely.
Fun.
Well, goodness.
Okay,
Thanks for putting that image in my head.
number 5.
Why did you go to 5? We just did 7.
X plus 5.
Because I just took them
Because
from,
you want to play that way.
You don't
random
want
places. Paxton, how do you write 5 more than a number?
And plus what?
N plus 5. What would it say if they wanted us to put the greater than symbol?
5.
Less than.
They would say 5 is greater than, or they might say 5 is more than instead of 5 more than. Okay, 5 plus n plus 5. Eli, we probably better talk about number 6. On number 6, what's less than mean?
In minus.
That ends before.
Huh?
Ends before 7.
What's less than mean now?
Minus.
Minus, but it's backwards. So it's not 7 minus n, it's n minus 7. 7 less than your age would actually be your age minus 7, not the other way around. Is meant what? Equals. Is means equals. Okay, Eli, do you remember consecutive integers? We talked about a few of these a long time ago.
I don't think I do.
Anybody remember consecutive integers?
It's like plus 1.
That's,
Oh, it's
1 plus
yeah.
1 is
Or whatever.
okay, what does consecutive mean? Not just the math.
It's
The
like,
same thing over and over.
No, it means in order. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are
It's
consecutive
like
days.
X, Y, and Z.
So consecutive numbers are like 3, 4, 5. So if the first of my consecutive integers is n, what's the next consecutive integer going to be?
And plus
That'd be over.
Okay, n plus 1. You don't want to use a different variable because 2 variables, we can't solve a 2 variable equation. We want to use the same variable. So if the first one's n, I know whatever the next one is going to be one bigger than that. And the next one after that is going to be one bigger than that. And then it keeps
oh,
going
I
like
forgot
that.
something.
Okay, so it says the sum, what's the sum mean, Eli?
Add it.
I just said Eli about
Oh.
a second ago. So we want to add the first two of these together, n plus 1. Now, do the parentheses really matter on this one? No, because order of addition doesn't matter. I think some of these were the chapter 2 test. I don't think 17 was alright,
The next section is
21, this is where it starts getting harder. Second half of chapter 2.
It's more complicated.
Forrest, what should we do first on 21?
Oh gosh. Okay. We do. Can't we do the 2 into the x squared, or is there anything else we can do first?
What do you mean the 2 into the x squared?
Well, because the parentheses like distributed property.
Distributive property.
Yeah.
And it's not, can we do anything inside the parentheses? Can we simplify those any?
I don't think so.
No.
That's why.
You can only add like terms. You guys remember that? So you can't add x squared with negative 8x or anything like that. So yeah, distributive property would come first. And probably shouldn't think of that as a 2. You probably should think of it as a negative 2. So what's negative 2 times that second parentheses going to be?
Negative 2x squared.
Negative 2x squared.
Plus 16x.
Right,
Or-
negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16x
Minus 8.
minus 8. So that's what the second parentheses becomes. The first parentheses was 7x squared
Plus x.
plus x plus 1. Okay.
Like terms.
Yeah, now you can add the like terms together.
Isn't it 5x squared?
Yeah,
It's
7x squared minus 2x squared is 5x squared.
It's satisfying to see it.
Plus x.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's called math.
Plus-
Oh, wait, I didn't say 16.
What's plus x plus 16x?
I didn't know the x. It's 17x.
Plus 17x. And then I see a plus 1 and a minus 8.
That's negative 7.
Minus 7.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I think that's a lot. Wait till we get to 23.
Oh my.
What the
23 would be a good one for a calculator to help out.
Oh yeah, that
Okay.
one seems.
Anna, what do you think about 23? What should we do first?
Yeah, the parentheses.
Good job.
Yeah.
What with the parentheses?
Like, put them into,
Starts with a D. Distributive property.
look at that.
So negative 2.7 times A would be negative 2.7A. And then what would come after that?
The B.
What's negative 2.7?
2.7.
Right. Negative 2.7 times negative B would be positive 2.7B plus 2.7B. Plus 4.79 times 1.9A. That would be the calculator time.
Oh.
I think it was like 9.101 if I remember right.
Wait, so Jordan, did you just distribute 3 on 21?
Yes, we multiply the negative 2 times the 3 things on the right.
Yep, you got it right.
Hey, what are your jokes?
Oh, I see that.
No.
How do you remember this stuff? Because he's Mr. Cool.
9.101A
This is his job. I hope you remember that.
plus,
No, I mean like from the
what
list.
is
Plus
4.79 times 2?
9 point. I don't know.
9.58 maybe?
Is that?
I just did number
Wait,
22
is
and I
that
didn't
9.10?
write.
Yeah, what is that?
It's 101.
Point 101. there. 4.1 minus 4.1 times 5a. That one you can do without a calculator. You do 5 times 4 is 20, and what's 0.1 times 5? 0.5. So it's minus 20.5a. And then negative 4.1 times negative 0.7, you could do that without a calculator, is positive, right? Let's squeeze it in over here. Positive 7 times, wow. Okay, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 1 is 7. But then there's 2 decimal places, so it's 2.87. Okay, am I done?
No, sadly.
What needs to happen now?
All the B's and the A's.
Put all the like terms together. A's, A's, A's. So negative 2.7 plus 9.101 minus 20.5.
Come on, somebody have a calculator.
B's.
What are you doing?
Did she just mimic Joe Biden? He's just a sleepy Joe.
Is it negative 14.09?
Hashtag.
I don't remember. Negative 14.09?
I'm wondering if I.
9?
Yeah, well, is
Anybody
there a
else
nine
get
now?
that?
Negative 14.
Well, I'm wondering, yeah, I'm wondering
Okay.
if I like add or subtract them out.
No, well, there's a third decimal place on this guy, so.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, anyways.
but yeah, A.
I got the C.
And then B's. B's look like they're all positive.
Big flopper. What? That's the name of the dog, right? I mean the
What's
lynx.
Yeah,
that
what
dog?
is it?
Yeah, and the dog goes. I mean the lynx goes. Have you ever seen Big Flopper?
I think so.
Yeah, and Hector on
15.
Beluga was actually
15.15?
Big Flopper. AKA the coolest of the.
Alright. There we go. That was a mess. Fortunately, the good news is that was the hardest one for today.
Oh, nice.
But
Today.
31's kind of hard. Probably not that hard. Not that long.
It's 33 now.
I didn't even get the answer all the way down.
Yeah, 33 will be the last one we do today. 25. Willow, what should we do on 25?
Do we have to turn this up too?
Nah, well, I'll probably just give you guys a completion grade on this.
But you're gonna
Okay.
check with the
Good.
positives with us as well? So that-
Yeah, I'll check the positives with you guys.
Even.
Do I wonder if
Even.
I have an answer sheet for this?
Is that what?
Probably not.
Is that it?
Probably should be making an answer sheet.
Wait, by positive, you mean equals?
Evens?
Evens, yeah, that's what we
Shoot.
meant.
We both were
Okay.
wrong.
Willow, what should we do on 25?
I suck.
Divide by 2, x is 9. Yeah, that was just an easier one. Shannon, 27, what should we do?
minus 0.4.
Minus 0.4, so don't let the decimals freak you out. Just do the same thing you would with normal numbers. Minus 0.4. If you have like negative something minus something, they kind of add together, like make a bigger negative. So that would be negative 5.568. I did line up the decimals to do it by hand. You have to line up the decimals. And you add and subtract. Then what's, Shane, what's our last step?
Divide 8.7.
Okay, in that case, I'm not gonna do that by hand, because that would be a lot of work. You guys remember how to divide decimals by hand?
No.
You do.
You move the decimal over on the
Oh,
divisor, and then you have to move the decimal over on this number, and then it's a normal problem. Yeah, it's a lot of work for sure. Okay, number 29. I think we're at Macy, I guess. Macy,
Yeah.
what'd you do first on 29?
Well, do we, do the distributed property?
Yeah, so what would the left side become?
So we have 6B plus 2B.
6b plus 42,
What?
6 times 7.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
We're not multiplying the b out, we're multiplying the 6 out. So 6 times b, 6b plus 6 times 7.
Oh, I see.
And then, Macy, what do we do when we have b's on both sides of the equal sign?
Why aren't they on separate sides though?
Yes, they're on separate sides, so what do we do about that?
You just keep solving, you can't change the other.
Well, by doing what though? What's our next step?
You solve each side, you solve the left side.
Can I simplify the left side anymore?
No.
No.
So you divide, but you subtract. You do something.
So if you got b's, our goal is to get b by itself on one side, so it says b equals something. So if we got b's on both sides of the equation, we want to get rid of them on one of the sides. So how could I get rid of this b?
You add, yeah.
Since it's a positive, this is kind of like b plus -4, so since it's an added value, you take it away. Anyway, subtract b on both sides. What's 6b minus b? 5b.
Okay.
From your home.
It's fine.
These are weird. I hate these.
Oh, it's not that weird.
No, I mean like the bugs of these bugs.
they keep you alive.
You know what's
now.
also weird?
Why are
We couldn't live without bees.
We still have like butterflies and like wasps.
They don't
We
do the same thing. Wasps don't do that.
I don't think wasps pollinate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Seriously, bees aren't that.
Wasps just live to attack
The movie.
Oh
I
yeah.
think most wasps are hunters. Okay, anyways.
They're annoying.
Now what, Macy?
What are
Oh.
Wasps.
Kind of normalish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
we're,
is full on PTSD with them.
we're kind of,
Dude, I've only been stung once and it was by a hornet. 2 of them on the same day.
okay, here's my question. What is
I've never been stung by these.
What is negative 46 divided by 5?
46, negative 46.
Negative 46 fifths is the correct answer. Okay, you don't get your calculator out, just write
Oh,
that
dang
down.
it. How much are we doing?
I've only
we're
been
finishing
stung by
this
a wasp
page.
once in my life.
Chapter 1 is pretty easy, but chapter 2 is a little bit harder. So
Is this chapter 2 or chapter 1?
we're on chapter 2. It says it at the bottom.
Oh no.
Oh, is that chapter 2? Oh.
Is this like due tomorrow? Or like
No, we're gonna be working on this for about 4 days.
Is this like the only one of chapter? Because it only goes to chapter.
Wait until
4.
Friday.
And not the chapter.
Yeah,
7.
Friday we might do something else. I
Oh,
think we'll probably be done by about then.
because then we have the final one.
we should just
Final is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm not sure what day it is. Okay, Olivia, number 31.
Is the we do the thingy with the arrows? The distributive? Yeah, that's
Distributive property. Yeah, didn't you just whisper that to Macy on the last problem?
it. Yeah. That on X and that on 6.
Okay, you can do, distributive. Again, don't let the fractions freak you out. Do all the normal stuff. There is a way to get rid of fractions that we learned in this chapter, though. We did, yes. So you look at every term, like this kind of all counts, since this is all multiplied together, this kind of counts as one term right here. That's a term, this is kind of like one term, and this is one term. What's the common denominator? What are all the denominators going to?
Oh wait, no,
15. So if you multiply both sides, all terms by 15, so basically the tops get a 15. That's legal if you do the same thing both sides. Then they're all going to reduce with the denominators, so that becomes a 3, becomes 5. You don't have to do this, by the way. You keep going like normal with the fractions.
It's like,
But we did learn to do this in chapter 1
I never.
or 2.
Why 15?
15 because the denominators both go into 15, 5 and 3. And then so they all reduce with the denominator. So there's nothing on the bottom. So 3 times 1x is 3x. 5 times 2 is 10. And 3 times 2x is 6x. So this is basically the same problem as this, but without any fractions.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So that way you don't have to like use a calculator. You don't have to do this though. Like what Olivia said would have been fine if we just multiplied that out. 2/3 times x minus 2/3 times 6 and all that stuff. But since I did it, let's go ahead and use this version. So now we're multiplying out a 10. 10x minus 60. Now what, Olivia?
or add 60.
Well, not yet. No. You want to, okay, we can simplify the left side, right?
Yeah.
How can we make this simpler?
Oh, put all the x's together.
Yeah. So that would be,
13x minus 60.
okay, also, I see that we have x's on both sides. Alright.
Get rid of them.
Subtract 6x from
Subtract 6x, yeah, that would work fine. We could also subtract 13x. That would have made it a little bit shorter, but it's okay. Let's go this route. 13x minus 6x is, what's going to be on the right side?
0.
Okay, now it's pretty much a normal chunk, right?
And I add 60.
Which is what you said a couple steps ago, but I kind of want to get x by itself first. What is 60 divided by 7?
60 and 7.
60, yeah. We're finally getting it. You guys used to just tell me decimals whenever I'd say stuff like that.
Our last one.
Yay, fun.
33 is our last one.
33. Who wants it? Hope or Lisa?
Ethan wants it.
Yo,
I
can I
already solved one like years ago.
I want
Exactly.
try-
Everybody solved one. That's why we're coming around to you guys again. You already solved 2. It can be a team. Okay, you said one.
How about one of them?
Oh yeah, team effort.
Hope's been talking more, so I chose you. Oh, here, Hope, you can answer this question. On 32, what would be the best first step?
Well, you, I don't know.
Go on.
Take your time.
Add 5. I don't know.
No.
Multiple by 7.
Yeah, if the whole left side is divided by 7, you should start by multiplying by 7.
Oh, okay.
What?
You don't
On 32, the whole left side is being divided by 7.
Wait, so 32? Or
Yeah.
33?
Fractions and division is kind of the same thing. Division bar and fraction bar is the same thing. The whole left side is being divided by 7, so you can get rid of that by multiplying by 7.
Are you calling the left side 3x minus 5? Is that what you're calling the left side? Because I'm confused on where the left side is.
Oh, equals is the middle. This is the left,
Oh,
this is
Do you
the right.
not done your left and right?
well, I was confused because it's
Wait,
fraction. I was
so
supposed
what's
to
your-
do
what's
other
your
way.
left?
What would be the other way?
He said
then?
because to get rid of y by 7. So if the problem had been like x over 7 minus 3 equals 15 or something, I would have added 3 and then multiplied by 7.
Yeah.
But since the whole left side is divided by 7, it's best to multiply by 7
We're
first.
gonna be 3x minus 5 equals.
56, yeah.
What?
3x minus 5 equals 56.
And then it'd be normal.
Yeah, it's normal after that.
Okay.
Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, Isa, what should we do first on 33?
You do distributive property.
Yeah, a couple distributive properties. So what would the left side become when you do that?
Negative 9b minus 9 plus y.
Equals,
6b minus 21 minus b.
then what would you do?
You got the like.
Put the like terms together on the left. So that'd be negative 9b, what's negative 9 plus 4?
Negative
And what can we do on the right?
5b minus
6b minus 1b is 5b.
And then you subtract 5b.
You got b's on both sides, so get rid of the b's on one of the sides by subtracting. And then it's in normal territory. Although the answer is kind of weird.
Add 5 to that. Negative 14b equals negative 16. Then you divide by negative 14, and it's b instead of 7.
Yeah, 16 divided by 14 doesn't work very well, but 16/14ths, the fraction, reduces to divide by 2 on top and bottom to 8/7. Issa's got some algebra skills.
It's not so stupid.
Just when you get a good office, they go.
That's because I was following along in one house. Stupid. Yeah, just like us. You can't say anything.
I drew like random arrows on this, and that looks like a coolest writing.
No. Because I'm following along.
You can't talk.
I just wrote random arrows down, and now it's like
Crusty. We have
the wise with.
You're dusty.
Okay, why don't you guys work on some of those evens?
Can you explain how to do number 8 again?
Number what?
8.
On
I
the,
forgot how to do that one.
which page are we on?
Page 39.
8.
Mr. Jordan,
Your shadow.
I forgot what you
Okay, 8, that was actually a question on the chapter 2 test.
Yeah. I remember.
How much is each free throw worth?
Like,
1 point. So if you make X free throws, how many points are you going to get from your free throws?
1x.
1x
No.
plus 2y plus
wait,
1x.
1x. 1 times X. Because X, each X free throw you make is worth 1 point. Plus,
2y.
a Y is a 2-point shot. How many points are you? Huh?
2y?
Yes, 2Y. 2 times the number of 2-point
So
shots.
it's just 1x plus 2y plus 3z.
Yes.
Equals b.
Well, you don't have to make it an equation, but I would not count it wrong if you did.
Oh, wait, that's just the answer. Wait,
Yes.
1x plus 2y equals
No, it's, there, yeah, you don't have to write equals on that. It's 1x, 1 times each free throw, plus 2 times each 2-pointer, plus 3 times each 3-pointer, equals the number of points you made. 1x plus 2y plus 3z.
Mr. Jordan. On number 31, how you did the whole like other things. I did it with the distributive property.
Okay, I did distributive property too, but I just got rid of the fractions first.
How did I get it right if I did
You should be able to get it right both ways, yes.
it? Oh,
So either way, the answer should have been, what was it, 60 over 7?
60 over
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 60 over 7 is 30.